Alrighty, Will, can you hear me okay? We're put that microphone right up to your mouth. Talk really loudly into it.
Yes.
Perfect. So yeah, anytime you're talking, you hold the button down. We can hear it all the time, whether you're pushing the button or not. Go ahead, Eli. Can I hear you?
10-4, you got it.
Beautiful, guys. All right, and then, when we're flying around, you might have to duck down into the cockpit because of the wind. Otherwise, you get that loud wind noise as we're flying around. But that's it, guys. Let's get rolling. Katama traffic, red Waco, back taxi on runway 3 for runway 6 departure, Katama. So we kind of go back and forth doing these little kind of S-turns as I'm taxiing, guys. I promise you I haven't been out drinking late last night or anything. This is just how I see out the front of the airplane. So anyway, on that note, for takeoff and landing, the only thing I ask, guys, is just keep your hands inside the cockpit, your heads inside the cockpit, because I actually look around you and between you for takeoff and landing. Once we're off the ground, even an inch off the ground, we're solid. It's just for the whole, like, takeoff roll part of it.
Perfect. Sounds good. What speed for takeoff?
Connor, she just kind of starts flying off the ground, but usually probably around 65-ish. Kind of just depends on how hot it is that day, how much gas I've got in the airplane, how big my passengers are.
Most of the weight is on the left side. That was a joke.
Yeah, we don't really have, with most airplanes you have like a weight and balance and you have a weight limitations, all that. It's funny, our boss's pretty much theory is if they fit in the airplane, we're taking them. And you'll be surprised, we fit some pretty big dudes in here.
In 46 years, this will be the first time I've seen the island from the air.
I can't tell you how many people have told me that kind of a story. We'll talk after. It's quite interesting. You'll see the perspective of it. It's pretty amazing. But I've had some people saying, I've been coming here 20 years, today's the day. And they all said the same thing. What an amazing perspective of it. All right, guys, you ready?
Ready. Ready.
All right. Katama traffic, red Waco departing runway 6, right turn out departure, Katama. Yeah, so that was about 65. I never really pay attention. I just, you kind of just fly it off the ground. right, Will. I'm going to make a left turn here along South Beach. We'll just kind of work our way up towards Chappaquiddick. So shark sightings are kind of down this year. Our boss says he sees probably on average about 10 to 12 a season, and he said he's only seen one this summer, and it was along South Beach. I think they're all hanging out on the Cape is my personal theory.
We're taking the Jeep out today on the beach down here.
Oh, nice. Now, how far, Eli, can you go up the beach in your Jeep when you could take it up on the beach itself? Like going towards Chappaquiddick, can you go as far as Chappy, or do they stop you at some point?
You can go all the way up to the point between Chappy and Edgartown.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure they're connected right now with the sand. It depends on the year and the storm.
Yeah, well, right now, it all looks connected to me. Now, if you look out the left, you'll be able to see. It's interesting. Like I told you, this is my first summer flying here, so, you know, my wife is the one that knows this island like the back of her hand, so I'm kind of learning things as I go. And a couple of my bucket list things is I have yet to even set foot on Chappy yet. That's one of my things I want to do. But I noticed that probably through the beginning, well, I would almost say the end of July, I started seeing cars parked as far as out here is probably somewhere towards the end of July. And I don't know what the rhyme or reason if they open up part of this beach at a certain time of the year, or is it based on business or what? But anyway, just kind of an interesting thought. I've been out here since May, and I haven't see where this car is on my 9 o'clock here down low? That's about as far as I've seen them out here, but they at the beginning of the season, they wouldn't come out this far.
I'm going to find out today.
I guess you are.
That'll be another first for me.
Nice. You know, how cool is that, though? You've been coming out here for so many years with your family, and you still can say, that's a first for me.
Unbelievable. Here's a funny story for you. The folks that bought my grandparents' house in 1996 for $180,000.
Wow.
We met them on the beach randomly yesterday.
Wow.
They felt sorry for us because we let it go for so cheap.
Wow. Yeah, you can. I was talking to a customer that I took on a biplane ride last week that had bought the gingerbread house, and one of the gingerbread houses out in Oak Bluffs. 8 years ago, they paid $349 for it, and right now they're in the 500s right now. Because we've been looking, we like that. That'd be like a bucket list thing for us to do as well, is to have like a summer gingerbread house. Since we, you know, we're only here for the summers. We stay at my mother-in-law's now, but it's crazy, yeah, the numbers of, you know, with the. And I'm from California. It's expensive out there, let alone just housing. So quite interesting. So, Will, this house down here with the bullseye helicopter, quasi-helicopter landing pad really is just a cool design of where the guy's house used to be, and he moved it back because of the eroding shoreline.
That looks like they're going to lose it pretty soon in the next 10 years.
Wow. Yeah, and apparently he also made the house kind of a bigger monstrosity as well. Off to your right is Nantucket, Eli. You can see it about my 2 o'clock there, pretty clear today.
Beautiful day for this.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Right about 10 o'clock low, Will, that's the Dyke Bridge. That's the connecting bridge, obviously, from the inside of the island to the east side beaches of Chappy. That's also the infamous bridge that Ted Kennedy went off of.
Marshall traffic, Warrior 44919.
Well, that's Edgartown Harbor right there.
Yeah, we'll go around Cape Hogue, work our way over to the harbor, do a couple of, we'll do one pass around the harbor as we're climbing up to 3,500.
Well, look at the beach over there. Yeah, that's where we're going to be today. Unbelievable.
Landing 1-1. Aircraft, are you just about ready for departure?
you look ahead there, there's no flux way down there.
Cherokee 558.
Shell traffic, Gloria 949, turning final runway 24.
That little community off to the righty like Cape Hogue, where the lighthouse is pretty amazing. They're all off the grid. They're on their own generators, well and septic. It's such a detached little community from the island, and you've got to take, speaking of Jeeps, you got to take that little dirt road, sand road all the way out there. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll let us go that far from South Beach.
Yeah, good question. Because I know, when I don't know, I've been told that you have to have a permit to go on these beaches over here, and you pay some like seasonal fee, or you have to pay a day rate or something.
They said, I asked them yesterday, you can do 1 day, $60.
Okay, good to know.
Seasonal is $140.
Oh, that's not bad. Somebody told me it was about a couple $100. Interesting. All right, let's work our way over to Edgartown, guys.
Traffic, Cherokee 558 over the field 2000.
Wave to the GoPro right there, look.
Yeah, so we have two GoPros. We've got the one up there, what we call the barf cam, and then, jokingly of course, and then there's one on the tail that shows all the maneuvers, which is kind of cool. And you can see a little bit of, the island facing downward as well. This is one of my favorite views. When we're talking about perspective here, look to your right, Eli. Just the color of the green hue of the water. To me, it just blows me away every time.
Incredibly shallow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Southeast Vineyard traffic, Sundowner is entering on a 45 to join the left downwind landing runway 06 at containment.
Final for 19er.
The golf course is up here on the right. The golf course is up here.
Yeah, that's the private one.
Minuteman, Cessna 6 here, pop 5 miles out on a 45 for runway 03, Minuteman.
So that's not Farm Neck?
Farm Neck is right, look at my wingtip over here, follow it straight out. Farm Neck, my understanding is that one right over there on the tip, right just past the Jaws Bridge, on the other side of the Jaws Bridge.
Oh yeah.
I think this one down here is Edgartown Golf Course, and then that other one is the private one, and I can't ever remember the name, it always escapes me. And then you got the main airport right there in the center of the island. And then, Will, you're looking down at Katama right now. We're just kind of working our way out to the ocean right now, guys. We're almost at 3,500 feet, and we'll do these maneuvers.
Sundowner is turning left base, landing runway 06, Katama. What's the Garner traffic? Southbridge traffic, 442 Delta is turning downwind to 02 Southbridge.
All right, we're at our altitude of 3,500. I'm just waiting to get out over the ocean. I'll do a little turn to make sure nobody's going to sneak up on us during our maneuvers, and then we're going to do it, guys. Again, just to review our maneuvers, they're going to be back to back to back. First maneuver will be the loop. So I take the airplane, I dive it at 130 miles an hour, I pull back on the stick. When I pull back, throw your head back, guys. It's cool. The view is awesome. You'll see ground, sky, ground. After we come out of the loop, I use that same energy. I use that same energy to do the hammerhead. I start going straight up, so she starts flying, and then I turn it around, dive it down towards the ocean, pull out of the dive with that same amount of energy, then I go right into the barrel roll. Once we get done with the barrel roll, we're about 1,500 feet or so, and then we'll just glide it back on in. So that's it, guys. That's the plan. Sound like a plan, guys?
Beautiful.
All right.
Sounds good.
Do me a favor, just for grins and giggles, give a tug at your belt, your seat belt there. Make sure she's still attached. Nothing is shifted, nothing adjusted. You guys are great. Other than that, all right, we're where we need to be. Let me do a turn here and make sure nobody's going to sneak up on us.
All good.
Containment traffic, be advised. Red Waka will be doing aerial maneuvers 1.5 miles southwest of the airport along the shoreline. Any traffic in the area, please advise. Containment.
Containment traffic, short final 6.
3 miles to the south, transitioning north 1,300 feet, hotel.
There's the airport right there. Lyman, here.
Mark over 949, I'll actually be going to left base after only 6. Mark over.
Miniman, left base, runway 03, Miniman.
Gentlemen, are we ready?
Ready.
Ready. Off we go. Here we go. Let's do our loop.
Chatham Airport, this is Lakeport,
With the airport turning left base, runway 03.
to the west, landing runway 6 Chatham. Vineyard traffic, containment traffic, the Sundowner's back taxi, runway 6.
Chatham traffic, Skyhawk 810, turning cross runway 6, departing to the west, Chatham traffic.
Regular traffic, coming 6,000 and below.
Woo-hoo! How was that, guys?
That was awesome.
Hotel traffic, towards top 1 mile west, 1,300 feet northbound.
I love flying this airplane.
I almost lost my helmet. That was unbelievable. Very cool.
Containment traffic, Red Waco is 1.5 to the south, landing runway 6, containment.
Wacko, the Sundowner will be departing in 30 seconds.
Copy that. We've got you in sight. Not a factor. Thank you, sir.
Skyacres traffic, what's the active runway?
Chatham traffic, Lakeport 55, Zulu Charlie entering downwind, runway 6 at Chatham.
No Sharksville, huh?
Skyacres, anyone in the pattern? The active runway?
Containment traffic, Red Waco 1 to the north, turning in for a 45 for left downwind, runway 6, Katama, departing traffic in sight. You see this big stretch of farmland right on my left here that's going straight? That, you know, it's really narrow.
2 miles south.
We're trying to open a skydiving operation and land there, take off from Katama and land there on the farmer's field. We're currently in negotiations with them now with the hopes of trying to start next summer.
Left crosswind, dividing the pattern to south, 33 Bermuda.
I'm only mentioning because I'm pretty sure you two guys would be potential customers.
I've never done it before, but it sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a tandem operation where you basically strap to an instructor and we take it at 10,000 feet. Basically do kind of what we were doing on this one, just have some fun, show you the airport from 10,000. Containment traffic, Red Waco, turning left downwind, runway 6, Katama. You guys are doing great. Just a reminder about those rudder pedals for landing, not just to keep your feet off of them, but you're doing great. Katama traffic, Red Waco, turning left base for runway 6, Katama.
Good job.
Same Airpark, Saratoga 3 Hotel Golf is over the Martha's Vineyard Airport, inbound to landing runway 6. We'll enter on a left base 3 Hotel Golf.
Thanks, guys. I love flying this airplane.
Thank you.
I promise you, I'm like a kid in a candy store in this thing. I'm having as much fun back here as you guys are up there.
Well, that was a once in a lifetime.
But again, how cool is it that you know you can still say that after being on the island for so many years and saying, "Yep, something else I just checked off on the list." Pretty cool. Yeah, this is my first summer, and I get why my wife wants us here for the summers. You know, we go back 13 more days. We start heading back on our road trip to California, and then we'll spend our time out there. I think I told you, I was trying to tell you, but we got a little busy. So my real world job is I'm an ER nurse back home. So I'm a full-time ER nurse, and then I work.
Any aircraft in the traffic? 3 Hotel Golf is on a 3-mile left base for runway 6.
Katama traffic, Red Waco, back taxi and runway 17, Katama 6 seems to be the active. So back home, I'm a full-time ER nurse and then a part-time skydive jump pilot. I've been working for the same operation for 20 plus years. I used to be the head skydiving instructor out there. That's how I met my wife. She went out there on a road trip 8 years ago to learn how to skydive, and I guess she fell in love with me or something. So I stole it away from Mike for a while, and then he stole us back, and you know, it was a pretty easy offer. He offered to teach me how to fly this thing, and so this is my first summer flying the Waco, and just having a ball. And I get it. So we'll be here every summer, hit and repeat, and doing this again. And like I said, we're actively trying to get a skydiving operation going, so that would be kind of cool too.
I'm going to have to take my daughter up now at this point, probably next year.
Awesome.
I've always thought I was afraid of heights, and I always thought I'd never consider skydiving, but after today, I might consider it.
Yeah. No. I hear that all the time. I can't tell you how many people I take, and I'll give you, and it's not a sales pitch, but I'll give you the reality check, which is, it's surreal. You're so high up, that sense of like standing on the side of a cliff or a ladder isn't the same as being in a skydive. You know, the only real part of it where you're like, oh my God, this is really happening is getting at the door and getting out. But once you get out, it's so much fun. It's just so high up that it's surreal. It really is. It's not, you don't get that sensation of falling that you would expect because you're jumping out of an airplane doing 80, 90 miles an hour and then accelerating to about 120 to get the terminal velocity. So that elevator effect lasts for about 3 seconds, and then it's just chill. It's pretty cool. Just loud and windy. That's really the best way to explain it.
Like flying, you know?
Like being in the biplane and sticking your hand out the side. It's no different than that. Thanks, guys. Alyssa's going to come get you out.
Now, all these people seeing me and my son come out, it's going to get you some business.
Yep, it's always, yep. You guys do it for us.